Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman. I am super excited to have my guest, Michelle Gunn from SPN, my buddy. We've been friends for quite a while, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
I was thinking about that the other day. I think you're one of my longstanding friends. I know that we met through SPN, so shout out to SPN and all the good things and all the good people and all that stuff that I've met throughout the years there. But I have you on, Michelle, because I see you all over the place. I see you on Facebook, on Instagram, I think on Twitter too, right? I see you all over Twitter. Okay, so you are interesting to me because you have a lot of different stuff going on. Let's just get the cat out of the bag. You are working right now at a church in a dungeon, and we got some digital interference, but just so people know, this is your work computer for that, and so they don't have the budget to make it all snazzy. But yeah, we're excited. Thank you for being flexible and being on. This time is locked in. Otherwise, we would have done this at a time when you could have done this from your stuff at home. But anyways, I want to do this. I want to, if you don't mind, I'm presuming people on here, maybe they don't know who you are yet. So as they are introducing themselves in the comments, and please, if you are watching, let us know who you are, where you're from, what you do. And if you have any questions, of course, first in questions are going to get answered first. So there's all that. But while you guys are doing that in the comments, I want Michelle, just maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, kind of give us a little bit history, synopsis. Who is Michelle Gunn? What are you doing? And maybe, introduce your website, and I'll bring that up too.
Okay. My first comment is you said, let's let the cat out of the bag. Those who have heard me talk, I love cats. We're down to 7 cats. Only one is not a rescue. So I like cats out of the bag versus in the bag. So we'll say that. And then,
that's something I know about you, because every time I see you in video, there's a giant picture of a cat behind her.
Oh yeah, my white tiger.
White tiger. Yep.
Yes. And well, let's see. I'm going to get sidetracked. That happens.
Julia from Vegas. Hello, my friend. I grew up in Las Vegas, so special shout out. Raiders, they won yesterday, so they're not losers. Not really winners for the season. But anyways.
So anyway, a lot of people on LinkedIn don't really know that I work for a church, although it's in my profile. People don't read the profiles. I've actually highlighted my business that I'm building, which is coaching. So I do work for a church, and like Ira said, this interference is because I'm on an old computer. Despite what people think, most churches do not have a lot of money. So we work with old equipment. Working for the church
is free. Whenever you're doing something for a church, like, when someone's trying to sell you something and they say this is free, you're like, that's my price right there.
Yeah.
I help run a few of the different ministries at my church. And so it's always like, if it's free, I can do it. And if it's not free and I can afford to buy it, then we can do it. But if it costs any money, then usually the answer is no.
Yeah. Yeah. Although the pandemic has forced us to become more virtual.
True.
So
100% true.
Yeah, we've advanced in these months where it might have taken us maybe a couple more years. We've advanced a little quicker in the last few months, which is a positive for everyone. But I am a wife. I've been married for 31 years.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, I have 3 adult children and 2 granddaughters.
Wow.
And they are in, actually, I have girl, boy, girl. And my son is the one with the 2 daughters. Him and his wife live in Washington State. So we are actually going to be taking a trip over there at the end of the month to see them because it's been a long time. Besides the 7 cats we're down to, we have a dog. And obviously I'm involved in my church. I also work there. And being involved in the church, actually my background, besides a mother, we put our family first. I actually have a degree in marketing. When I was in college is when we got our first computers, and no, there was no such thing as laptops, and we didn't have the internet. So, my kids laugh at that. So although I did not start my career in marketing, so like I'm learning digital stuff now. I've been a little bit over the years, but I was not trained in digital marketing. So that's a learning curve for me. Yeah. I did a lot of work in management, retail, fast food, and most recently nonprofit management. So a lot of my experiences in that, and working for the church in management. Oh, I did internal audit, which was very interesting because you learn a lot from someone by looking at their check register. Tells you everything.
Yeah, it really does. I tell people you can learn about people in 2 ways, really. Forget what they say, right? Mm-hmm. That's people can twist things any way they want. Look at how they spend their time. Look at how they spend their money. That's the thing that you know they care about. If they're investing their money and their time in something, they care about that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. Absolutely. So when I'm working with my pastor as the administrator of the parish, we're looking at ways to get people more involved. And remember, our communications were not huge electronically. We were starting to work into the parish to reach out electronically via Facebook. We just started really growing our Facebook in late, probably 2014, 2015. We were looking at ways to reach out, and we wanted to develop a program to get people engaged in the parish, right?
Yeah.
So we were looking around, and a lot of the other big churches that we really like the models they're doing, one of the things that they do is the Clifton Strengths. They bring that into their parish. And the pastor and I both really liked that. We liked what it stood for, so we decided we were going to bring that to our parish. And we talked about actually paying Gallup to come out and bring into the parish or get someone certified at the parish. And as I was thinking about it, I thought, oh, I want to do that. So I did. I became a Gallup certified strengths coach. And when I took the assessment, I understood fully why I was successful with my business degree, managing departments, businesses, 40 plus employees. I understood that the skills that I developed, I could do that well, but why I wasn't feeling fulfilled or happy, because my innate talents weren't in line with my work.
Yeah. I actually had the same issue. A lot of people haven't heard this from me before, but I took a test. So I run Project Help You Grow. A lot of you know what that is, right? It's free job assistance for people all over the world. Well, one of the people that was reaching out to maybe partner with, I don't know the best way to say that, but they were looking at Project Help You Grow as like a tool to help, advertise for their coaching services. So she does these testing things. She said, let's do this test. I'll show you. Because I didn't really know her. She didn't really know me. So she wanted to show me the validity of this test. I said, okay, cool, let's do it. So we took the personality test, and she basically identified strengths and weaknesses for me, likes and dislikes and stuff. I'm like, that is amazing. But one of the things that came out from that, she's like, you are a born entrepreneur. you're going to be bored at any job you ever have. Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I agree. I'd never been brave enough to be an entrepreneur and not work, not have a job, especially, we talked about your kids. You got 3 kids. I got 8, right?
Yeah.
My wife and I are launching a show this Friday called 8 is Enough, right? And I have a hashtag strive for 9 that's buried in subliminally. I can't speak, but anyways, it's in the background, which is kind of like my joke. So I came out with strive for 9 before she came out with hashtag 8 is enough. And that look on her face, if you've seen the, well, I'll pull up the picture. It's kind of fun. Anyways, I didn't have Photoshop open. So,
Ira, some of us older people remember a show called 8 is Enough.
Right. Well, that's where she pilfered that hashtag. That's where that came from. Right.
Yeah.
So, 8 is enough. It was one of those things. It was kind of like a mic drop deal. It's kind of like, well, how do you beat that? There's really nothing you could say. So anyways, I had come up with this hashtag strive for 9 a while ago. And here we go. So anyways, This is our new show on Fridays. But look at that face. She's like, you picked one that kind of makes me look bitchy. And I go, no, it's sassy. And that is whenever you say 8 is enough, this is the face that I envision, like you're putting your foot down. And so my kids actually, they are like, Dad, when did you guys take this picture? I'm like, well, we didn't. This is a picture of her. This is a picture of me. And Photoshop them together. But anyways, in full disclosure, I play with Photoshop all the time.
So what do you do? Work with graphics or something? I mean,
right. I love it when people want to get in like a meme battle with me too. It's like, I can make anything I want, right? I mean, they're using meme generators. I'm just like, no, what do I want to say? Anyway, sorry to get off
that's
topic.
Okay. I just want to say that 8 children, you and your wife are amazing.
It's mostly her, honestly. People are going to find out in our show. She's the awesome one. My job really since we got married was to produce the money. And my wife, when my wife and I started dating, it's really funny because she made way more money than I did. She was a hairdresser and I was a waiter. I served food and then I got into customer service and then I got into sales. So I didn't make a lot of money. But as we started having more kids and I started to make more, she could work less, she was working less and less. And then when we had our twins, we went from 3 kids to 5 kids. And it was kind of like, okay, well, now daycare and stuff is too expensive. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So, I had to be the breadwinner. So my wife has done the yeoman's work of the parenting. You know what I mean? Like my job primarily has been disciplinarian. I'm the heavy and the breadwinner, right? And then I try to set a good example for my kids, and I want to be their role model, if that makes sense. I know that can seem a little corny, but I'm trying to set a good example for them. Like, this is what a husband does, and this is what a father does, and this is what a citizen does, with like voting and all these things. So anyways, those anecdotes will all come out in the show and everybody will love her more than they love me. And that's, the way it really should be because she's awesome and I'm just me. But but this is a really good point. It takes both parents, I don't know how single parents do it. I have a lot of respect for single parents because I know how hard it is. Like my wife and I are exhausted a lot of times. The kids wear us out. Like last night, somebody lost the remote. It's the end of the day. I just wanted to relax and watch, a TV show and unwind at, 11 o'clock before I go to bed. And the remote is like, it vanished. I don't know. My kids made it disappear. So I went to bed a little frustrated, but that stuff that happens. But yeah, definitely teamwork, and there's times where I take more of the role. Like my wife right now is recovering from pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much told her, like, I don't want you doing anything right now. I just want you to get better, recover, and, meals, cleaning, discipline and all that stuff, just showers, all the things people don't necessarily think about. I'm like, just leave that to me. I'll make sure it gets done. So teamwork for sure. There are definitely times. Damon's my buddy. Damon and I work together at Exit Your Way. You're familiar with Exit Your Way, yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so Exit Your Way, a lot of people think of us as business brokers, and certainly we do help people buy and sell businesses. But really what we're doing is we're helping people increase the value of their businesses. We have a diverse team. Some people from SPN are on it, like Mike O'Connor are on the team. Craig Wasilchek, I know you know him. He's on it. We have a lot of people that are on the team, and basically they don't work on every deal necessarily. They work on the deals when it makes sense, but we bring them in. They're like, you are a coach. When somebody needs coaching for certain thing, let's say, for example, e-commerce, it's a new thing. A lot of businesses didn't have a good e-commerce solution in place prior to COVID and everything being closed down where you couldn't go visit in person. Well, now when people want to ramp up their e-commerce business, that's one of the things that we do at Exit Your Way. So anyways, since Damon jumped on, I thought we'd give a little promo. Mark, hello. Everybody, hello. Don't forget to tell us where you're from. 8 is Enough with Steve Martin, cute movie. Was that 8 is Enough, or is that 10? I think that was 10 or something like that, right?
I don't remember, but I watched it.
I think it was something about 12.
Oh, that's Cheaper by the Dozen.
Cheaper by the Dozen. That's what it was. Yeah. Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin. And they had 2 of them, I think.
Yeah. 8 is Enough was a TV show.
8 Enough was, yeah, 8 Enough was a TV show. In fact, in full disclosure, when I was making this, I Googled 8 is Enough, the show stuff, because I didn't want to imitate it. Like, we borrowed the 8 is Enough hashtag, the phrases from them, but I didn't want them to feel like I'm just trying to totally copy them. So I went on, and what they had done in their stuff is the 8 was always in one color and the is enough was in black.
Oh, okay.
And they had different family shots and stuff. So why aren't the kids in the picture? Again, I'm just trying to I'm not trying to totally rip them off. You know what I mean?
Plus, they don't all fit.
Oh, we fit. Have you seen our latest photo?
All of you together? No, I don't think so.
So.
Oh, wait. No, I think I did see that one.
Now, some people are saying, well, where's the 8th kid? Okay. So we have 6 to 21 now is our spread. The 21-year-old is flung the coop. He's in Texas. So when he's around, I'll take a picture of him. But the pictures I have of him are, when he's younger. And these kids are growing up. So anyways, if you're not here, you're not in the picture, turkey.
You can Photoshop him in.
I could Photoshop him in. I really could, but I'm not going to. He can come home. The door's open. You know what I mean?
Where in Texas is he?
He is down by Laredo. He goes to Texas A&M International. He's studying to be a nurse.
Cool.
So that's what he wants to do. So anyways, yeah.
Awesome.
That's the deal. My second oldest daughter is in college too, but she's home right now. She's on winter break. So she loves me more and comes home.
Girls love their dads more.
She flew further away from me, though. I told her she had to escape to as far away as she could get from me, 3,000 miles away in Florida. So for those of you who don't know, I'm in the LA area of California. And okay, where are you from? I didn't ask that earlier.
I live in Texas, but I'm a Michigan girl, born and raised.
Okay. Well, our family almost moved to I just had a brain fart. Oh my goodness. Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah, Grand Rapids. We have I grew up in the West, so Las Vegas and California is really where I'm from. Although we did live in Texas for 3.5 years, down in New Braunfels is where we lived. Okay. But an associate pastor in Las Vegas had moved to Grand Rapids and taken over a church that basically was dying. They were down to like 25 people or something. It was almost dead. Well, now they're back up to like 300s and 400s. So he's done a good job over the past 5 years or so, 6 years now, I think. But I don't know if you know this. I have a degree in the Bible. And so I was going to go and work and lead their their marriage ministry. That was the plan. But it wasn't a paid position. So I was needing a job, and that door didn't open. In fact, that's what I was praying about. I'm like, okay, God, if this is where you want me to be and what you want me to do, then, I'm not going to force myself here. You open up a door for employment, and then we'll know that's what you want. Well, the door didn't open up. In fact, that's when we moved to Texas, because the door opened there instead. So I went there. Anyhow, there's probably TMI, but
It's a good place for it publicly. Yes.
right. Well, I don't mind. I share stuff all the time. I stand corrected. Thank you for the reminder. You're awesome. No, I just, it is what it is. We get all the big family stuff for sure. Will Smith is from the Bay Area, and I think he does Bitcoin sales too, if I remember right. Queens Creek, Arizona, land of the sun. My buddy Nick, he was from Seattle, and he moved down to Arizona last year. Okay, let's show your website. So I'm going to pull it up real quick. You want to give it an intro.
Yeah.
This is michellegunn.com, right?
Yep. 1 L 2 N's. Okay. So after I started getting into coaching, I started with the staff here at the parish. I realized that this is really where my love, my passion, and my talents lie. And really, like you were saying, what God is calling me to do, to really help people find their purpose. Because we live better, more fulfilled, happier lives when we can live our purpose in everything we do. Imagine spending a day, well, I'm sure you can imagine, Ira, although we have tasks that have to be done that we might not like, but the majority of our time spent doing something that we really enjoy. And for me, there's nothing better than seeing other people find and reach their potential. It's amazing.
I should have done this earlier, but for any of you who are looking to connect with Michelle, here is her hyperlink. Click on that. That'll take you to her LinkedIn page. And then I'm going to put in, it is literally just her name, but I'll put in also her website address so you guys can see that. And so I wanted you guys all to see, I don't know if you caught it. She was talking about being Gallup certified strengths coach. It's right there. And that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
To be certified. I'm a coach for social media. I got into it reluctantly. It's just irabowman.com. It's my name as well. I got into it reluctantly because, as I was growing, and I think you and I connected long before I amassed this huge network. But, when I started out, I had 1,500 followers, 400 connections. I had less followers than connections, which is the opposite of what most people are in the beginning. Right. So as I grew, people were like, hey, what are you doing? Can you teach me? And I'm like, well, I don't know if what I'm doing will work for you, but here's what I'm doing. And I was meeting with all these people on the side just to, it was not official coaching or whatever, but it was starting to eat up so much of my time that I couldn't do it. I'm like, I just, and I felt bad. I'm like, well, how do I determine who to help and who to say no to? And I thought, well, it's only fair. It's supply and demand. So it's price. And I have a business degree as well. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do that. And I set my fee, and it wasn't a lot. It was never about money. It was just about what we talked about. If you're willing to invest your money in it, then I know you're serious. Like now you have some skin in the game, right? But I'm not a certified coach. So I am reluctant to call myself a coach, even though I've been doing it for a few years now. But for those who get certified, I think it signifies that you're taking it serious. This isn't just, some come lately thing to make a little extra money or whatever, right?
Right. And then we also have to recertify every couple of years too. So we can lose our certification. That is possible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to have. It's an overseeing body who's making sure you're on track. And it also adds credibility because now it's not just Michelle saying that you should trust me. It's Gallup saying she's trustworthy. I love it. So I'm impressed. Kudos. And I want people to notice that on here. So they can get a hold of you here if they're interested in a session. And And I know that you're doing a 30-day challenge. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. I'm doing it on LinkedIn and on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Cultivate and Thrive. It's my Facebook page. And we're doing it's it's not so much a 30-day challenge. It's word of 2021, and we started it on January 1st, but hey, it's not too late to join. We used 4 days. I had exercises for you to do some internal thinking and some reviewing about you, what makes you you, challenges, obstacles you've overcome, what you want to accomplish in 2021 to help you determine a word to lead you for the whole year. Last year, I used the word joy, and it helped me a lot because I use that word to guide me to make decisions, right? I want to do things as much as I can that will bring me joy. Because like a lot of people, sometimes I have a hard time saying no if somebody asks me something and then I regret it later. So I use that word to remind me that I don't have to do everything. I need to do things that will bring happiness to myself and others. So it worked out well. And that was my first year using it. So I wanted to bring it, I guess it's the coach in me, wanted to bring it to other people so that they could have the same experience. And this year I chose purpose because, of course, I want to help others find and live their purpose, but I also want to live my purpose through coaching.
Yeah.
So
I want to point out as you're talking here to people that you have 63,000, almost 64,000 followers.
Yeah.
What that means, folks, is if you send Michelle a connection request right now, she cannot accept it, right?
Oh, actually, that's not true.
Oh, you have some room.
I have room for connections.
Okay, good. Well,
I
I don't. So anyways, send her connection request while you still can, I guess. So
yeah, I did start in the beginning. I did connect with anyone, and then I started being a little bit pickier.
More picky, yeah.
Because of there are some fake people out there.
There's a lot of fake people out there, honestly.
Yes.
That's the one thing that I've found. So for me, for example, if someone wants to connect with me, well, first of all, I don't have room. I am at 30,000. If we just come to me.
Yeah, I'm not.
You can see, I mean, I don't have any room. So yeah. I have people that wait, and this number oscillates, but I think right now it's like 2,800 or it's not showing, but anyways, it's always a huge number. But it oscillates up and down. But the fact is, I do every once in a while, someone will drop off and I have some, you know what I mean? But the people that I actually connect with are the ones who will send me a note, but it's not a pitch. Oh my goodness. Yes. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, your automation tools, you really need to think about them because first of all, it's illegal. You're not supposed to do that on LinkedIn.
Right.
Second of all, you're sending me the same stupid message that hundreds of other people have already sent me.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I came across your profile. I was very impressed. And, you know, we have a few mutual contacts. Really? Okay. That's great. Because I have 30,000. You don't think we have anybody in common? You and I, Michelle, have 724. I just saw that earlier. That's why I know that off the top of my head. So yeah, we have a few mutual connections.
That means I have room for a few of your connections for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? But that's why I try to tell people, like they reach out and they go like, how come you don't accept my connection request? Well, I can't because I'm at the max. And like I said, I have people that wait sometimes for months.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say the successful ones, the ones that engage with my posts,
right.
You know, like they're real people. They're real people. And then, you know, we connect and we become friends. Now, I will say this, because I'm on LinkedIn more than most people, I almost respond to every single comment that people make on my posts. Like if you're trying to engage with me, I'm probably one of the more easy people to engage with because I'm on a lot. I run a social media company and we get paid to, you know, help people get seen on LinkedIn. I mean, that's bottom line of what Bowman Digital Media does. So I'm a little bit a different cat than a lot of folks, but you can follow, right? Like this number right here, there's no cap. You know, I hope this goes up over 65,000 because you're on my show today. It really could. It could be super simple. Now we only have 12 people watching us right now on LinkedIn. And I don't know how many people are on Facebook and YouTube at the
Right.
moment. But, I will tell you this, this video will be seen 5,000, 6,000 times, which is,
Right.
for a live video, that's pretty darn cool. So I hope everybody will reach out to you. Look, this number's climbing as we speak.
Yeah. Now you see right above, see the blue
This one?
Engaging for Success. That's a little book that I wrote after my numbers. Because when I started getting active on LinkedIn was last February, and I had like just over 200, I'm going to say, connections, followers.
Christine is awesome. She lives in Vegas now. She's from the Bay Area. She actually just moved out to Vegas in 2020. She has, look at that. I have 1,148 mutual connections with her. That's one of the ways you could tell if people are real or not, by the way. If I'm connected to them and I'm connected to a lot of other people that are, that's how you can tell. Like someone asked me the other day, how many friends do you have on LinkedIn? And I said, probably about 1,000 would be my guess. And they said, how do you keep up with that many people for reals? And I said, well, it's a lot of comments is what it is. And, I might not talk to Christine for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But then when I talk to her, we catch back up and then, you know what I mean? And we go on. So
that's actually one of the things I talked about in my book was that's really where your relationships are built is through engagement on posts.
Yeah. That is the number one thing. People don't understand that. But also I created these groups. They're called Win-Win Networking Chat Groups. Now, I have a speed networking event that happens on Tuesdays. It's called Win-Win Networking with Ira Bowman on Tuesdays. But I have these chat groups that I set up. They're not pods because an activity pod, what that is somebody, you have a administrator who says, okay, everybody who posts, you just post links and you have so much time to go and comment on those posts. And that's the rules. Well, in these, there's none of that. We ask questions, we chit chat. We do share links, but they're supposed to be just about the topic. So like this one is networking. So anything that's networking related. So I asked in here earlier today, bigger challenge for you right now, making new friends and followers or getting industry specific traction. And it's just to generate, a conversation. This allows people to get to know folks that they don't already know.
Right.
Because let's face it, I have a bigger network than most people on LinkedIn, right? I'm in the top 0.01%, right? So, and there's people with way more than me. Trust me. I'm not trying to say I'm all that. I'm just trying to say that when you're trying to meet people, commenting on posts, engaging with others on posts, and being in these chat rooms can really help you get to know people, but you have to participate. We talked about investing time and money. This stuff is free, but you do have to invest some time. The more you are willing to make comments and talk to people, be social on social media. I know that's crazy.
That's a key word. And that, like I said, I'm not trained in social media, but it doesn't really take a lot of common sense or brains to think about what you said. It's social media for a reason. It's not a electronic billboard, right? Where you go post your thoughts, and actually it's kind of almost what Facebook is anymore, right? You go post your thoughts and feelings and it just stands there for people to read.
I need a new circle on Facebook. I have 1,000 friends on Facebook and a lot of them just want to argue. I started calling Facebook debate book. And I'm like, I don't want any part of that. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool with talking about a topic and learning. I love to learn. And you can be respectful and have a different point of view. I'm cool with all that. But when it's just like, well, here's my point of view and you're an idiot if you don't agree with it. And then other people doing the same thing, saying the exact opposite thing. It's like, okay, guys, you're just looking at the world through your rose colored glasses. And then you don't even know what that means. But like if I put on glasses that are rose tinted, everything I see is going to be skewed from that perspective. And if I take those off and put on another pair of glasses that are like blue, and now everything's going to be blue, and I'm looking at the world that way, you have to understand not everybody's looking through those same lenses, right? We have different perspectives because of our experience and our knowledge. And to me, that's what I love about LinkedIn. I get to meet people from all over the world who work in different industries, and I can learn from them, and I can assimilate some knowledge, and some of it helps me make money.
Yeah.
Some of some of it's entertaining, some of it, like LinkedIn, I don't see a lot of arguing, which I really appreciate.
Right.
The thing about Facebook that I can't stand is the propensity to argue. Like almost like no matter what somebody posts, it could be as benign as, puppies and rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody will come in and say, like, well, I like dogs better. And, turn it into a battle about who's the better pet. I'm like, really?
Yeah, everybody knows it's cat, so.
Yeah, see, I'm a dog guy, but I appreciate that some people love cats. Like, and it's okay. Why do we all? I don't understand. It seems like Facebook, everybody wants you to be exactly like them. Where LinkedIn, people are the opposite. It's like, oh, you're from a different place. You speak a different language, you're a different culture, different religion, whatever. Let's be friends and let's learn from each other. I like that better.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to Melinda because I saw that. They're gonna make it happen. They're gonna make me get 65,000 followers today. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be putting your stuff everywhere. In fact, let me do this because I haven't done this yet. So as you guys know, this show, Marketing Mondays with Ira, this is I think my 6th episode officially. So what I have done is I have created. I'm just gonna pull up my website here. I've created a few. Now this is bowmandigitalmedia.com. In fact, let me do this. Let me take this. Put this in the comments for people so they can click on it if you want. Right. So if you're wondering where I am. Here's where I'm at. So I've got this page set up, Marketing Mondays, and you can see all the videos from the past. So like later today, you'll be on here. And this is, we didn't even say this. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the first episode of 2021. And aren't we glad we're on the other side of that? For my whole life, 2020 vision was a great thing. And who knew that 2020 was just going to be a dumpster fire of a year? It gives me a new perspective on 2020 vision. But also, which I think is pretty cool, on here, if you're ever curious, like if you want to read about, like what were they talking about? Or what was the link in the video? You can come, any that have this logo, like this is the first one I did with Derek. Here is the transcripts of the show. So like if we were sharing a link or whatever, it's in here on the blog. So you can watch the show on, the Marketing Mondays tab, or you can catch the links from the blog. And then also if you're on Spotify or Anchor and you just want to listen to an episode, we're also there. So we publish live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We live on Anchor, Spotify for audio only. And then we have the transcripts and the video version available after the fact here on Bowman Digital Media. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So anyways, there's some extra exposure if y'all are interested. And Melinda is awesome. She's saying no worries. Personally, I don't know why you're not at 100,000 already, but you'll get there. Guess I'm very blessed to have such amazing friends on social media. Yeah. My wife doesn't have as many issues on Facebook with the arguing thing, although she does see it too. So I think that there's just a component that lends itself to that. But I think personally what I need to do is just find some new friends on Facebook.
You can on Facebook stay friends with people and not see their stuff.
Yeah, unfollow. I do that a lot. And I don't and I do something else. Now I do this on LinkedIn too, just to be clear. I do what I call weed my garden. Okay. Yeah. So weeding my garden is like, if you make a troll comment on anything, I'm going to remove it. Yep. I had somebody last night. Okay. So, I own Bowman Digital Media. I run a marketing service. Mm-hmm. So I had put a post about that up a couple days ago. Somebody was like, hey, we do the same thing. He was like advertising on my post. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you need to learn some etiquette. So I deleted his comment and I reached out to him on one of his posts and said, hey, please don't advertise on my post. That's not, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that to you. That's not cool. So have a little bit of common sense, I guess. Yeah. But on Facebook, I will unfollow people typically if they curse a lot, because I don't need that in my life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I try to filter. We haven't talked about this. I am, a little bit conservative, as probably people can probably tell. I have a degree in the Bible, right? So, I'm not necessarily the most liberal person in the world. I'm not opposed to freedoms. I love freedoms. And, I'm not trying to take anybody's freedom away. It's just for me, I don't want to be somebody who swears every other word.
Right.
So I filter what I consume and, what I read, what I watch, what I listen to. And so if somebody is, colorful, not necessarily my cup of tea, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. It just means I don't want to read all your posts. So that does help. And then if they come on one of my posts and use the colorful language, then I usually just delete it. Because I have kids. I have, 8 kids. We talked about that. I don't want them. My kids are on social media, so I don't want them to read the garbage either.
Right. You got to be the example.
Melinda is cool. Do you know Coach V? So Virginia Tarznowski, which I probably just butchered that. But anyways, she's super smart. She was in the military. She's from Scotland. She lives in the Cayman Islands. She's a lawyer. She was a lawyer for a couple decades, I think. And then she's also super, super fit. So she's a coach. She's a physical fitness coach. She helps people mind, body, and beliefs. Anyways, I did her website. And anyways, she's a lawyer. She's smart. She's one of my good friends.
Awesome. Well, I want to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
We were talking about 2020 being such an awful year.
Dumpster fire. That's the word I use.
But wait, I have a different perspective. Because although there was a lot of garbage and a lot of people suffered a lot of things.
Yeah.
I personally am blessed.
And that's the part I mean, right? Like I personally had, I had some really challenges. My family got COVID right at the end.
Oh, we did too.
My wife had a concussion for 2.5 months. She was laid up for 2.5 months. And then basically once she got recovered from that, then she got COVID. So it was just like, really, this is what we need. So we had some challenges. I was laid off, lost my job.
Yeah.
But Bowman Digital Media was born.
Right.
There was some really good things. I think, what 2020 was for a lot of us. It was an opportunity to figure out what was really important and to kind of recenter and refocus. What are we really doing with our life? There was a meme that I saw, and I wish I could remember who put it up. And maybe you saw it, maybe you know. It was something to the effect of, and I'm not going to get it verbatim, but I'm going to do my best. It was something to the effect of like a Groundhog's Day. Like don't go to sleep and wake up and repeat and do everything the same for 70 years and call it a life.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, you got to try some new things. You got to chase, what you love. And what is your legacy going to be? I think 2020 allowed a lot of us, hopefully we took the time to reflect a little bit and go, yeah, this is important to me. Like dating my wife and spending time with my kids and reading my Bible. And, those things are important to me. That might not be important to everybody listening. And I get it, right? I mean, you got to do what you love. You got to chase your passions. So tell us 2020, 3 of the best things that came out of 2020 for you, Michelle.
For me, 3 of the best things were the people that I have met, specifically through LinkedIn and internationally, that I might not have had the time and opportunity to build relationships with. 2 is really focusing my mission and vision for my coaching business that I'm building while I'm working full time.
Which is props to you, because it's not easy. Yeah.
Thank you. Nope. Work in progress. And 3 would be some of the things that have come out of the relationships. Like I have a podcast with Shreyas Kushik that we do called Get Set to Thrive. And
do you have that link, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put that in the comments, I'll share that so everybody can see it.
Okay. Also, we just started a new talk show. We'll be doing our second second episode live talk show this Wednesday called Life Talk Burrito.
Now that's a fun name.
Yeah, I give Shreyas all the credit for that because when he said it, I'm like,
Oh, that's cool. Now, you guys will learn more about me probably than I want you to when my wife and I do our shows on Fridays, but she's going to tell you, I think everything is better in a tortilla. Like you could take anything. I always want it in a tortilla, and I love burritos, full disclosure. So anyways, love it. What was that? What was the name? One more time. I'm going to put that in the comments.
Life Talk Burrito.
Okay, is it Life Space Talk or is it Life Talk all one word?
Life Talk Burrito. It's spaces. We don't have a website for it. We just do it. We do it live on LinkedIn and Facebook. It'll be on my Cultivate and Thrive YouTube. It'll probably be on.
Look, here's a reason to follow Michelle Gunn right now. You can get notified every time she goes live. Life Talk Burrito.
Okay, I just put our company page for our podcast.
I'm just giving people a reason to follow Michelle Gunn if they haven't got one already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All
right. Biggest marketing challenge that you see going into 2021? Because this is something that I'm asking everybody.
Yeah.
We're now kind of repositioned, like you said earlier. You weren't a digital marketing expert, right? You have marketing experience in spades. I know that. But in full disclosure, I took marketing in college, but none of it was digital. It was marketing 101 and blah, 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 right? I took a bunch of marketing courses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your challenge, is it meeting people? Is it, is it finding the target?
I guess, I don't know if I could say one challenge because I'm working full-time and building my business. I have that time challenge, but also because I don't have the big experience with digital marketing, that's the other challenge.
Well, so let's talk about it a little bit. So for the digital marketing challenge, putting out the message, attracting the audience, getting the audience engagement, getting them to make the whatever the purpose of the marketing material is to affect the change, right? What do you think is the biggest challenge? Well, I mean, we could say for you, we don't have to speak in generalities. We could say, okay, for Michelle Gunn, for coaching, let's focus on the coaching, right? So Michelle Gunn, coaching, we're trying to build this up for 2021. Build the awareness, build the clientele, build the website, because you said it's a work in progress.
Right.
So what do you think what would be the biggest challenge? And then maybe as a follow-up, maybe what is it that I can do to help you? Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest challenge would be probably the same for a lot of people, would be the conversion, right? Yeah. So you can get people, just like I tell other people, when you're on LinkedIn and you're building your network and your followers, most of us, not all, but most of us are on LinkedIn to hopefully get a client.
Sure. I am 100%.
So that's another thing that I tell people. You don't have to have a huge number of connections, because your clients won't necessarily be in your connections. They may be in your followers. I think I do a pretty good job of letting people know my brand, who I am. I'm pretty clear, I think, about what I stand for. But I would say probably the conversion. And I know part of that too is my website, but
well,
I'm sorry.
We could definitely talk about that. One of the things that I've been doing, and I think this is something everybody needs to get back to. In fact, it ties in with what Julia is saying here. We used to do things manually back then. True. Referrals, testimonials, that old Zig Ziglar saying that's always in my brain. People don't care what you know until they know how much you care. You know what I mean? Like that. And actually, that's not Zig Ziglar. Sorry. Who is that? My brain's frozen up. I have
So we know
dyslexia.
the quote.
Anyways, it's somebody's quote. It's a great one, but it's true, right? They don't care that you're certified.
Right.
So and even this, like Julia's other comment about people piggybacking off. Like if you come onto my post and you start advertising about something that people are there talking about for me, you're actually doing yourself a disservice because you come off as shallow and you come off as insincere and selfish and all those things. And one of my most famous quotes, this is an Ira quote, is life is too short to be selfish. That's one of the things people know me for. And if you get to know me at all, you know that I'm always working as hard as I can to help other people. Well, that is the Zig Ziglar quote. That it's something that I learned from Zig Ziglar 20 years ago, which was if you help enough people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons why I'm always helping people. And I don't make any bones about that. Like I'm here to find clients 100%.
Right.
But the number one source of business for Bowman Digital Media over 2020 was referrals.
Yes.
So in 2021, I'm doubling down on that effort, actually. I'm asking people for referrals. I'm trying to help people so they can see the value that I add. I do a lot of pro bono work, usually for nonprofits, because that's where my heart is too. Obviously, I run a nonprofit called Project Help You Grow, and I volunteer at church. So I know you and I are kindred spirits with that. But I think the conversions.
Yeah.
The number one source of conversions you're going to find are going to be not people necessarily, like you said, your connections are not necessarily going to be your clients.
Right.
They are going to be, hopefully, because they're going to know you the best on LinkedIn, at least, is they're going to bird dog for you. And what do I mean by that? They're going to be engaged in other posts that you're not necessarily going to see. And they're going to see, hey, I need help with I'm just going to boil it down for me, right? I need help building a website, or I need somebody to manage my social media page, my business social media page, because I don't have the time or the desire, but I know we need to do it. And they go, hey, you know who does that? Ira, Bowman Digital Media. And that's where I get my business from. It isn't Google ads, although I do run some, right? I mean, I have traditional advertising. I have some traditional sales that I have incorporated in my game, but a lot of my conversions are coming from referrals. So getting people to testify and to, acknowledge like, hey, he is good at this stuff. Like for you, I could easily write you a little blurb, a recommendation.
Oh, that's a new word now.
Yeah. So maybe I could do that for you. Maybe that would help. Right. So I could write, because I've known you a long time. Like I could speak to you, very, very clearly, what you bring to the table. And
a good recommendation is like gold.
Yeah, put that on LinkedIn, and hopefully that'll help you.
And not some of these generic stuff that you see.
No, I don't think those help at all.
No,
that's like if I don't know somebody, like you and I have known each other for a couple of years. I've seen you. I've been engaged with you. You've engaged with me. I mean, we've been round and round. These people, like, they don't even know you, and they say, "Hey, will you write me a recommendation?" I'm like, what would I say?
Right.
We've never worked together on anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anything. Anything I would say would just be a platitude, because and fabrication, frankly. Which, if you get to know me, you'll know I'm a man of my word. If I say it, I'll stand behind it. So, anyways.
That's the same thing with the skill endorsements, though, I feel.
Skill endorsements are a waste of time. Like, I'll actually endorse anybody's skills if we're connected now, because I speak to so many recruiters with Project Help You Grow. They don't look at them. I'll tell you what it does help you for, though, if you're smart. If you guys want to know about skills on LinkedIn, use those as SEO candy for what you want to be found for, right? So every one of those 50 words, like for you, if you're trying to build up your coaching, I would have every one of those related to that. And that's what I do. Like, I drop some, in full disclosure, when I open Bowman Digital Media, because it's a little bit of a pivot for me.
Yeah.
From the print side to the digital marketing space. So I actually dropped some. I had over 500 endorsements so that I could pick up new ones that would help me be discovered for like WordPress as an example.
Yes.
And I took the LinkedIn skills test for it so that I could have that certification. I actually don't think that was worth it, just in full disclosure. But anyways, if anybody is curious, I'm certified by LinkedIn for WordPress.
I just want to say, Ira, one of the things we were talking about, you now have an example of in the comments.
Yeah. See this right here, Pixel Design? You guys are so dumb. Seriously. Don't ever do that. All you're doing is making yourself look like an ass right now. I mean, really. Anyways, I'll block you later.
That's
what I do with people like that. I just block them. Like, you come off, you're not engaged in the comments at all. Like, look, if Julia was to do something like that, that would be a little bit different because she's been engaged this whole, you know what I mean? She's part of the conversation. Now, Julia's smarter than all that. But anyways, and I don't mind. I actually, it's funny. I will bring my competition on this show. I'll bring my competition on any of my shows as long as they're real people. You know why? Because there's plenty of business for all of us.
Yeah.
And there are customers who fit what I do, and there's customers who, even though I like them and they like me, I can't really help you. Mm-hmm. I call it an avatar. Different people call it different things, but like think of what makes a perfect client for you.
Right.
There's industries and there's size, and there might be revenue. There might be like e-commerce, non-commerce. Like, for example, one of the things that I help the most are people in the service industry. I work with a ton of coaches in my business. Somebody who's a medium-sized company that's maybe doing like 15 million a year in revenue or more. Somebody who's really heavy in e-commerce. There's not much I can do to help you. I'm just being honest. And so when we do that consultation, it's a two-way conversation. I'm trying to figure out if I can help them, they should also be trying to figure out if I can help them. But you know what I mean? And then the other thing that I'm always looking for is, do our personalities mesh?
Yes.
Because, sometimes people are, and I have people that they're super, man, I don't want to throw shade at any personality types. They're the opposite of me. And I just don't think that we're going to have a great working relationship. So I do pass on some of those. No, I'm not too kind. You're just, Julia, you're smart. Julia, if you guys don't know Julia, you should connect with her. She is intelligent. She's funny. She's authentic. She's around too. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you connect with people and you never see them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't understand that. Like if you connect with me, why? If you're never going to talk to me, you're not going to engage in my posts. You don't, like some people, they don't make posts of their own. You know what I mean? Like you're not a content creator. And so then it's like, well, why did you want to connect with me? I don't know.
They're going to use you, tag you in something that they do so they can take advantage of your 100,000 followers.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Here's I call him my LinkedIn bestie, which is funny because he's on Facebook right now. But Joe Stepke runs Joe the Finance Guy. And he was my first client for Bowman Digital Media. He was on the phone with me the moment that my boss put me on furlough, because I went on furlough before I went on, before I got laid off. It's funny though, because I was working on some big deals. So I thought he was actually calling to congratulate me or say something along those lines, like positive. So Joe and I were doing a Zoom and he's like, do you want to bounce off this and take that call? I'm like, no, just hang on. It'll just be a quick call, I'm sure. Because it was Friday afternoon. It's like, 5:30 my time or something. And then I got put on furlough. So Joe was like, should I hang up? What do I do? What's the proper etiquette here? We're good friends. But anyways, we had talked about, he's been Joe the Finance Guy for a few years. And we had talked about previously me helping him build his website. And so he's like, well, you got time on your hands. You want to build my site? I'm like, sure. So we worked out a deal and I built a site. Anyways, now we do, I don't know if you know this or not, we do a show on Saturdays called Saturday's Cup of Joe. That's his name, right? And that's like a Seinfeld episode. We don't have any script, and our show could go any direction. I mean, and it often does. But this week, we are going to review the new Cobra Kai series because we've both watched it now. He watched the whole thing in one sitting, I think. But I've watched it now. So we're gonna review Cobra Kai. We both like Cobra Kai. So, anyways,
And Joe's everywhere too.
Joe's my buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without Mr. Stepke. And Virginia, she is way too kind, but I do try to help people engage. I think that's one of the things people like about me. Like I'm always looking for, vehicles to help people meet new folks, build relationships, and advance their own objectives. Like I don't mind. And like I said, even people that would be considered competition, like I don't root against anybody. You know what I mean? Just be like a real person and be professional. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you want to come advertise on my post, just think, how would you feel if I did that to you?
Right.
That doesn't, to me, that's below the belt. Anyways.
Just send them a bill for the advertisement.
I actually have done that before. I've said, where should I send the invoice? I've never gotten a response from that, but I have asked that question. Sorry.
Hey, was that just another one?
Yeah, here we go. You can build your own website right here. Golly. I try to show all the comments. I guess I should read them first. There's no place for greed, jealousy, lies, and deceit. Yeah, there shouldn't be. People make too much. Look, if you're selfish, I mean, don't you think people are going to see it? It reflects on you and the company you work for. Like you're advertising a company and you come across as a selfish, self-centered prick, then you're probably not going to accomplish the objective you're really trying to. Like you think, dude, I'm gonna blow this guy up. So, Emil, do you really think, after all the conversation that we've had, that there's any chance in God's green earth that Michelle is going to click on your link, or anybody else is going to click on your link? All you're doing is you're letting people know that you're somebody to be like deleted. That's all you've really done. And if you work for a company, it's in your profile, that leaves a sour taste too. So anyways, there's that. It's a Seinfeld episode. It really is. Yes, he did watch them all at one time. That's my buddy. Yeah, the connections. Look, this is what we're here for. Like, if you have a question, legitimately, I want to know. We're here to help. That's what this is about. And I let every one of my guests know in advance that we take questions. She is. Michelle is. I'm telling you, you guys should all be following her. She's an upright person. She's got a good moral compass is what I mean by that. She's professional. She puts out content. So she's not just a taker. Like, there's stuff to engage with, and she can coach you if you're looking for a Gallup certified coach.
Yes. And if you need to find a word to guide you for this year, join my group. Word of 2021. It's free.
That's my favorite prize. I love free. I love free. Okay, so we are. I don't know if are you in a rush to get off, or can you stay for a little bit?
I could probably stay for a little bit.
Okay, let's do a little bit more. So let's talk about your coaching candidate. Like, tell us a little bit who makes a good client for your coaching business. Well,
my ideal client, would be, which I have coached others that don't fit that.
When you see the word genuine like that, do you say genuine?
It depends on what kind of feeling I want to put forth.
So I do. Now it's only one L, just so you know. It's Michelle with one L.
Yeah. I generally, when people type in comments, I'm forgiving of that because of autocorrect.
Hey, I'm just being a smarty pants. But genuine, like that song, like it gets in my head. I don't know. And I listen to, just so everybody knows, like I pretty much listen to K-Love and country music. Okay, so I'm not a pop, rock, rap guy much anymore, but
yeah, I love K-Love, but I listen to KSB Dates at Houston station.
K-Love is my go-to station.
One of our DJs moved and he's on K-Love. And don't ask me his name, I don't remember.
Focused Warrior. He asked a question about this, like, what's your theme for 2021? And I was like, you know what? I did all these goals.
Warrior.
I didn't really have a theme for 2021. So I'm like, a better Ira. That's my theme for 2021.
That's why I choose a word, but your word can be your theme.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on getting better. I want to be a better husband, a better father, a better business owner, a better network person, a better friend. I mean, I want to be
As a coach, Ira, I would ask you, what does that mean? Because that's vague.
Yeah, no, and I can tell you in each of them. I could tell you, like,
Go ahead.
I have specifics in each of them. So, like, a better husband, more time. I want to be more sensitive to my wife's love languages, right? Like, how does she receive it? I want to dish that out so she knows, so she doesn't have to ask, "Do you love me?" She asks me that a lot, which means I'm not doing a good
You're
job.
not saying it or showing it. There's two
Showing
ways.
it, right? Expressing it. We'll use that word, expressing, right?
Yes.
Father time. Because you spell love to your kids Time, right?
Exactly.
More time, like last night. Full disclosure, we like ice cream in this house.
Yeah, who doesn't?
We didn't really have any ice cream, but we wanted ice cream. So go to the store, pick it up. And I could have just went by myself. It would have been faster. But I waited for one of my 12-year-olds to get dressed, took her, let her pick one. But she got, 20 minutes with her dad one-on-one time, where that could have been just me going by myself. And a lot of times in the past, that would have been. But again, 2021, trying to be a better dad, more time with the kids. Better networking partner. These things like these chat rooms, these win-win chat rooms, they don't really help me. I'm already connected to everybody in the room. They're either following me or they already know me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a way for them to meet other people. Like you said, I got 200,000 people in my personal network and you got 65,000. There's room. There's more people for you to meet. And so
Right.
I'm trying to always create these opportunities like the win-win networking event. Honestly, again, everybody who's going to come to that, they already know me. They're already connected to me. There's not one single person that will come that I don't already know. So what does it do for me? It just allows me to be a better friend and a networking partner, which is what I want to do. And then better at business, I'm focusing on a couple things. I'm getting some more gear. So I've ordered this year already. I've already ordered another lens for my camera, so that gives me a little bit more depth. I ordered it's charging up, but I ordered this Fire 7. It's only $50, but I ordered this. I have a teleprompter, and the teleprompter requires a smart device with an app, and then you put the text there. So like when I'm in person and I'm doing a video, I was using my smartphone, but it's kind of small, and most of my clients are a little bit older, right? Mm-hmm. So I decided to get the tablet just for that, so that it's bigger, so it's easier for them to read. And then I'm working on Illustrator and I'm working on Premiere this year. I'm working on my skills to get better, and that will help me, as the business owner. So anyways, I have specific goals that I've set for each, but all of it equates to me being better.
Awesome.
And now you guys can see a little bit how coaching goes. Although usually if Michelle is going to be honest, she has to drag that crap out of people. They don't usually have it at the tip of their tongue, probably. But
yeah. Well, I would drill that down even more, actually.
Yeah. Well,
it's still a little bit.
If you want to give me a free coaching session, I'm all for it. But anyways, because that's my favorite prize, Michelle.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're looking for avatar, ideal customer. You're looking for who?
Yes, it would be a woman, probably mid 30s, possibly even late 20s.
I'm 0 for 2 so far.
Yeah, maybe up to, the mid 40s. Somebody who is feeling unfulfilled personally and professionally. Maybe she doesn't have self-value. She doesn't know what she's worth. And that would be someone that I would help realize first their personal worth.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people think they're not worth anything. And
I do struggle with, I'm just going to be honest, and this might be a revelation to a lot of you. I struggle with depression. I struggle with my own self-worth. I completely understand. Just because someone looks like they have it together, and even if someone's awesome, doesn't mean they realize it and that they internalize it. And so totally get it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I really love the Clifton Strengths Assessment, because Don Clifton, who's the founder, he wanted to know, because when we were growing up, right, our parents and in school, it's like, you're not good at math, do more math. You're not good at grammar, do more grammar. You're not hitting the baseball every time. You need to sit out there and practice for 4 hours, right? our focus was always on what we didn't do right.
Yeah.
And with Don Clifton, his focus was, what do we do right and how do we make it better, right? What if we focus on what we already do right? So when you take the Clifton Strengths Assessment, it comes out, it's 34 talent themes. They're groups of talents that are naturally innate. And they rank them in the order so that your strengths come out on top. And it's things that you naturally do. It's the way you do things. It's not going to tell you you should be a doctor. You should be a mechanic. It doesn't tell you that. It tells you how you do things, where your natural abilities lie. It doesn't tell you skills. It doesn't address whether you can spell or do math, just naturally how you look at things. And it looks at what you do right. Things that you don't do as well, we refer to as a challenge instead of what you do wrong, what you're weak at, because weakness is very negative. But a challenge is something you can overcome or learn to do a workaround. So when I work with a client, they also have different levels of results for the assessment. So if you're in a position where you don't have as much money to spend, you can get just your top results for a cheaper amount. It's $20 literally for the assessment. And you can do a lot for yourself with that. But of course, I'm going to tell you, having a certified coach will get you farther.
Sure. You're a guide, right? I mean, people need to understand that, right? You're not just doing it. The DIY you can do a lot DIY.
Yes.
But, if you have a guide, usually you're going to get there faster with less headaches and be more confident in the results too.
Yeah. I've coached people who I say, well, we're going to see what your strengths are. And this is an adult female. When I say adult, I'm saying late 40s. I have no strengths.
Yeah.
Right. That's, to me, is sad that somebody actually feels like that. And then when they get their results,
legitimately feel that way. That's not somebody being humble. That's somebody being
right. Somebody who doesn't understand their value.
Yeah.
And when you see the results, even a lot of times that doesn't hit home because they don't see it. So through the coaching, we can help them see, because these innate talents are something that you have your whole life. They become strengths by investing in them, by building your knowledge, by building your skill set. But it's something that's naturally easy for you. For me, like I said earlier, for me, when I got the results of my assessment, I could understand why I was not feeling fulfilled in a job that I could do.
Yeah.
Because that was utilizing my skills, but not my innate talents. So my number one is belief. Okay. So somebody who's strong in belief has a strong set of core values, right? And it's usually faith and family are usually the top ones, but it could be other things. So understanding that is really gives you a good perspective on how you view things. And when you get the rest of them, they combine and they work differently. So like for me, my top 5 are belief, responsibility, input, developer, and arranger. So the belief is the core values. The responsibility is I do what I'm going to say, or what I say I'm going to do. The input, for me, input is a collection of information. The developer actually makes a great coach. It's somebody who sees value in others and good in others and wants to bring it out. And the arranger is somebody who can find the best ways to do things, can juggle different things. But with every strength, you have the negative aspect if it's not used properly. So when I was being certified, I really learned a lot about myself and also confirmed a lot. So, maybe, so it's a little confession time. So maybe as a child, I was told I was nosy. Okay. I wanted to know everything. And I asked a lot of questions. And that got a lot of negative attention to me. Right. So now at my age, when I find that out, it all makes sense because I crave that. I'm always, if something new comes up, I will research everything so I can find out what I need to know.
Yeah.
My belief,
I like to research too, in full disclosure.
yeah, for my belief, if I believe something to be true, it's hard pressed to get me to change my mind because I do research. So I figure I have what I need to know to back that up. In fact, in our trading session, when we were talking, I'm at a church. You find a lot of people who are high in belief. That's not a surprise. But in other places, it's harder to find. So here at my church job, I have a lot of staff members that have belief. But in at my training and my certification, there wasn't. And the one lady asked me, she said, "My son is high in belief. Can you tell me how can I get him to understand what I'm saying?" To basically, she wanted to change his mind and have him come around. And I told her, I said, I don't know because I always do the research, so you can't convince me otherwise. It's always good for a laugh. The other thing with the Clifton Strengths that I like to do is it's really good for premarital counseling, marriage enrichment.
Yeah. Compatibility.
Yeah. Well, it's not compatibility because when you know your talents, you can, what we say, aim it. So you can use it to get the results you want, right? So if like I am not high in, let's say, achiever is one. These are people that have to get things done. They like to check off that they get things done. I'm not high in that.
Yeah.
But my responsibility will make sure I do what I'm supposed to. So you can interact in other ways. But I had my husband take the assessment. And interestingly enough, my number 34, which is the absolute bottom one, is his number one strength.
There's a great comment for you.
You know what? I love to be on a team with achievers.
I have not taken the test, right? But I'm going to presume that would be high on my list.
Yeah. Well,
there is a really good comment there. Agree, Julia. Some abilities are not socially accepted or socially understood. I 100% agree with that.
Yes.
Belief, frankly, might be one of those.
Yeah, well, and it depends on the context, right?
But sometimes people will take, like, because I'm a Bible believer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go, "Well, you're naive for believing in this book." Well, you can think what you want, but for me, if the Bible says it, I take it at face value because there's no one I trust more than the author. But but some people don't see it that way. Some people would say that that's being naive.
Yeah. What I think about is if we would raise our children and we knew what their strengths were or could learn to identify what some of their natural talents were, and instead of making them do something they'll never be good at, like, right? If my parents wanted me to play the violin, it doesn't matter how long I practice. I'm not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I agree. I tell my clients all the time, like, if you're not good at social media, if you're not good at creating graphics and you're not good at understanding algorithms and all this stuff that goes into really being good at social media, which most people don't understand, why would you waste your time and effort to do it when it's going to hurt you and you're not going to get as much out of it as if you just pay somebody to do it for you? Now, I'm not talking about your personal social media here. I'm talking about your business social media. Like, do what you're good at. Like, find the things that you're really talented at that you love that help your business succeed, and then source the things that you're not. That's what successful businesses do. Don't waste all their time trying to raise their skills from a 0 to mediocre. Find the things that you're already you have a high natural proclivity towards, that you're passionate about, that you enjoy, and then invest in taking those things to the off the charts level. That's what I think most businesses should do. And
right.
I'm going to presume that goes hand in glove with what you're saying for your clients, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from we're always told that we need to be well-rounded people.
Yeah.
And That's not how we were created.
A decathlete instead of a specialist in just the hurdles or just the long jump, right?
Right. We need to have well-rounded teams.
Yeah.
So we build our teams with the talents that we need, and we appreciate everyone for what they bring to the team.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to have everybody to be able to do everything, because that's really that we're not made that way.
So this is exactly my philosophy on social media network audience. For me, because I hear this all the time from people. Oh, I only want to connect with other people in my industry. I'm like, why? Wouldn't that be boring? Like, it's better for me to connect with people in every other industry. So I have a information base. I can learn, but also when I say something from the digital media space or from the social media space or from the print space or whatever space, having 8 kids, a lot of people are fascinated by that because they don't have 8 kids. If they have 8 kids, like, well, we pretty much know how that goes. So it's not that interesting. You know what I mean? So like, I hear from other people in other industries. I find that fascinating. Like, if you live in Turkey, we had somebody give us a greeting from Turkey. I want to know about Turkey. Now, I understand that we have different experiences and we're not going to agree on everything, but that's where being professional and polite helps. You know what I mean? But for my network, I love to have diversity. And if I find, like, I don't know. Okay, so I was a music major, full disclosure before. I was a music major at San Jose State, business minor. That's why I started through my sophomore year. Then in my junior year, I flip-flopped. And I said, you know what? Let me be a business major and a music minor. Now, I'm not a composer. I say all that long-winded just so you know I have a music background. But I'm not a composer. If I need to write a piece of music for a video that I'm doing, I'm not going to do it myself. I have a piano out there. I could go out there and bang out the keys and figure it out, right? But that's not my strength. I'm going to pay somebody their fee to write that music while I do what I do best.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that all makes sense. Hopefully we're tying this all together because we are running late. And I know I got to get you out of here and I've got to prepare for a meeting. So
let me throw one more thing real quick.
Yeah. And if you want to plug one more time your website. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay. I want to throw out there because there's another a Gallup certified strength coach. Him and his wife have started a movement called the Incredible Family. What that is, it's a strength-based movement to raise your kids in their strengths, and they have come up with their own assessments for parenting so that you can parent utilizing your own parental strengths and that will complement your children's strengths. And they have a new book coming out. I think it's out today called Incredible Parent. I wish I had that when my kids were young. It's good for parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. If you want to have a less stress parenting and a better outcome for your children, check it out. You can see posts on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook. I have it. Check me out at Cultivate and Thrive on Facebook, on LinkedIn. My website is michellegunn.com, 1L, 2N. Send me a connection or follow on LinkedIn. Join Word of 2021, Facebook or LinkedIn. It's a free group to help you find and live your word for the year. We'll offer support. It's all free. And I thank everybody who has shown up, will show up, has commented, will comment. And thank you, Ira.
Yeah, man, it's been my pleasure, Michelle, having you on. If you guys have not hit the follow button, I'm telling you, you need to hit it because this is the lady. Look, I wouldn't bring somebody on my show that I didn't admire and respect and all those things. Michelle's one of them. Rock solid. We talked a lot about kind of how churches work in the beginning. And then we've talked a lot about, mentalities and stuff. This has been an awesome episode. And you've got a good insight into who Michelle is as a person, the way she thinks, her heart. And hopefully I don't have to sell you on the value that she's adding. Get involved in her 30-day challenge. It will help you. And if you need coaching, look, she's already laid out, she's looking primarily at 20s and 30s professional women who maybe are doubting themselves or not sure their place. Let her help you. She is a Gallup certified coach. It is michellegunn.com, 1L, 2Ns. I think we all got that. And if you want to send her a present, she loves cats. She is the quintessential cat lady. With all that, we're going to bounce. I'm going to turn the music on. Michelle, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you around social media, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ira.
All right. Take it easy. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.